I'm Matt Couch from Victory Brewing Company. I'm a senior brewer, and this... Nah, that sucks. And today we're going to be talking about experimental hops. These are actually hops. You can't smoke them.
Well, you could.
We could. Wouldn't recommend
I'm thinking no, yeah.
Would not recommend it. So experimental hops are the brand new research varieties that are coming from hop growers. So these are all varieties that are basically a number. They're in trial period, and they are sent to brewers in order for them to assess them and see if they have qualities that we would enjoy. All right, so what we're gonna do here is a little hop rubbing. Have you guys ever rubbed hops before? Yes.
Yes.
These plants are actually trialed from a single plant and propagated from that, but it takes years and years to make enough of these varieties in order to put them onto the market. So experimental varieties usually come in very small batches because there is not a whole lot of hops to go around from those experimental varieties. They designate them with numbers and then change that number when they send us the trials, so we have a completely blank slate. They don't tell us what's coming in. So honestly, whenever you pick them up, rub them, and sniff them, you may get something completely out of character of what you thought. Something that's oaky, something that smells like rum, something that smells like straight fresh cut grass, papaya, mango. The range of flavors and aromas are not limited to anything. And especially with these hop varieties, nobody knows what they're like, except the grower himself. So it's a very cool experience for us to kind of go in with a nice mystery about everything. One of the big things that we like to push here at Victory is to have everybody get involved with trialing the experimental varieties. And what that does is bring a ton of different perspectives, some untrained perspectives and some well-trained perspectives, to kind of give us a full range of opinions on these hops. And the hop growers really appreciate that as well. Because, as you know, the beer drinker is not a uniform character. So it's great to have a lot of perceptions included in this process.
Apples.
Green or red apples?
Apples. Green.
What we're going to see is a lot of brewers and staff come in and rub these hops, and the crucial part about rubbing them is breaking up the hops so you get some of that lupulin out, and you can actually get the oil, the resins on your hands, and let that kind of be exposed to your nose and really breathe it in. So any good aroma evaluator will literally have a nose, face covered in hops. That's how you know they're good. So really dive in there, and if you ever get a chance to rub some hops, if you're growing your own, really get into those hops and really experience the many different varieties of aromas and flavors that you get out of those. It's a great experience.
So why are hop growers making experimental hops? I mean, I freaking love Willamette. I mean, like, why should we ever use anything other than Willamette? I mean,
so current mainstream varieties of hops tend to have some issues. Some varieties do not produce a good yield, which means they don't produce enough hops from the plants themselves. The agronomics of producing these varieties are not as good as some of the newer varieties of hops, and there are many different aroma and flavor characters that can come from hops that we haven't even begun to discover. So experimental varieties are created in order to discover new aromas and flavors, and also find more agronomically feasible hop varieties which produce more from a smaller acreage of those hops. So the hop varieties that we have here are still very much in the trial stage of their development. Now you may be looking at hops here that have had 1 or 2 years of actual production, so they've been growing for 3 years, 1 or 2 years later they're actually bringing them out to trial. Or you may have some hop varieties that are coming within their first 3 years that are actually having a better yield than some of the other varieties. And the range of characters that you get from these hops, every single one is different. So it takes a very precise nose to actually kind of pick out the different characters that come from these hops and be able to describe them especially. From our selections, you may see some new releases of varieties that home brewers will be able to get access to in a matter of a couple years, and we really appreciate the ability and the chance to do this kind of process and the relationship it develops with our growers. So for you home brewers out there and just fans of our brand, please enjoy our beer as much as you would like and really enjoy the fact that we get to do some really cool stuff that we hope that you guys really enjoy. All right, so naming.
Okay. Well, that's opening a can of worms, didn't I?
Yes.
What I'm really asking is, when can we have Mad Couch IPA dry hop with Mad Couch?
I don't know if you want Mad Couch IPA. I've got a certain dank character to myself that I don't know would be suitable for an IPA.